Hey, how you guys doing out there today? This is Stefan Jimenez from the Roto Beast team, and I'm here to present you our NBA picks for Wednesday, November 22nd. As always, if you want to continue watching our videos, please make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Roto Beast. And if you want to play the actual lineups that we're playing, please visit our website at www.rotobeast.net. So, before we jump into this game, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, you might as well go ahead and click the like button below. Like I said, if you haven't, click the subscribe button because this video is going to help you make a lot of money. I really like this slate. There's a lot of juicy spots. Hey, let's just jump into it, all right? If you're new, I do everything in fives. I like to do the top 5 games I'm going to target, the top 5 teams, and the top 5 at each position. So let's go. We'll start with the top game. I think it's going to be Brooklyn versus Cleveland. I mean, this game has the highest total at 228 implied points to be scored. Cleveland is favored by 11, so you could be a little bit scared of a blowout. They did blow out the Pistons last game, but Cleveland hasn't been the best this year. And Brooklyn, I think they could keep it somewhat close, like they did in the first game. I think they actually may have beat Cleveland. I have to look that up again for you, but. Yeah, I think that this game could stay close, back and forth. We know Brooklyn doesn't play very much defense, so Cleveland's going to put up a lot of points in this one. You got to really like this game. The second highest implied total game it's the biggest game of the night. You got the Warriors going into OKC, Kevin Durant going back there. This is going to be a really, really good game. Russell Westbrook, now he has Paul George and Anthony to back him up. I'm really, really looking forward to this game tomorrow. It has the second highest total of 224 implied points. And Golden State is favored by 6, so it is projected to stay somewhat close. The next game we'll talk about is Milwaukee going into Phoenix. This game is going to be a really fast-paced game. It's going to be high scoring. It has the third highest implied total of 221, and Milwaukee's favored by 5. Then the next game we will talk about is the Magic's against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This game has the fourth highest implied total of 215 points projected to be scored. Minnesota is favored by 7. This is going to be a back and forth game. I really like this game to target. There's some really good spots. And then the last game that I'm going to talk about going to be Toronto versus the Knicks going into New York. This game has the fifth highest implied total of 212 projected points to be scored, and the Toronto is only favored by -4. So Vegas projecting this game to be close. I think this is going to be a pretty good game to target as well for fantasy relevance. We'll go get going. And it's a big old 14-game slate. I mean, there are some other solid spots. Those are just my top 5 spots. So before we get going on the picks, I'm gonna let you know. So the top team I'm gonna target is gonna be the Cavs going against Brooklyn. They play no defense at all. They have the highest implied total on the slate of 119.5 points projected to be scored, and they also get a +6 pace bump. We always talk about pace bump, get you extra shots, extra opportunities to get rebounds, assists, etc. Next, we'll talk about the Warriors. They have the second highest implied total of 115 points projected. This is actually a slight pace down game compared to what OKC usually goes, but I mean, it's pretty much just going to be a back and forth run and gun. Whoever's going to outscore the other person is going to win this game. I really like the Warriors. Then you go with the Bucks. They have the third highest implied total of 113 points projected to be scored against the Phoenix team, who they don't play very much defense. They get a +6 pace bump. I really like this spot for a bunch of bucks. Then we got the Timberwolves. They have the fourth highest implied total. Going against the Magic, who's a fast-paced team. They get a +2 pace bump. They're projected to score 111 points. And then the last team that I'm going to really be focusing on is the Thunder. They have the fifth highest implied total of 109 projected points. They actually get a +4 pace bump going against the Warriors. I really like this Warriors and Thunder game a lot. I mean, this game's going to be back and forth, back and forth. Hey, let's jump into the picks. First and foremost, we'll start with Russell Westbrook. 10,000, very good price on him. You need 50 for him to hit value. The guy had a monster game last game against New Orleans. If they want to be successful, they need him to play good. They've been struggling because he's been trying to take a back seat, score 15 points, score barely 20, 13. That's not going to get them wins. They need the MVP, Russell Westbrook, and they're going to have Paul George and Carmelo play off of him. I think he's really going to step up for this game, going against the best team in the league. Going against Curry, he's going to take that challenge. Durant, he's going to go all out against Durant. Used to be his best friend. And so, yeah, you got to like Westbrook. He's definitely, one of the top plays on the whole slate. Then you got Curry on the other side. This game's going to be back and forth. Curry 9-5. This guy's going to put in work. This is going to be back and forth between him and Westbrook. 9-5, you need about 47 for value. He's going to get you 47 tomorrow. In my opinion, I like Curry as well. If there's value on the slate, in other spots, you could definitely even try to stack Curry and Westbrook. Both of you guys are going to have really good games tomorrow. Then you got Jeff Teague. I think he's a little bit more of a GPP play. The guy's playing a lot of minutes. And he's been pretty solid. He's averaging 31 fantasy points a game this season at a 6.7 price tag. You need about 33 and a half from him. This game is going to be up-tempo against the Magics. I like him tomorrow. He's a solid GPP play. He's a very fair price at 6.7. This guy, my opinion, must start tomorrow. Going back to Phoenix after they did him dirty. Jason Kidd he's already played 35 minutes his last game, only 21, 30. But this guy, Jason Kidd's going to give him a lot of minutes. I know Jason Kidd, and it's a revenge game for him. I think this guy's going to go off. He's going to have a massive game tomorrow. I can honestly, at 6.4 for value, you need, 33? I think this guy, mark my words, I think he's going to get at least 45 to 50 fantasy points tomorrow. He's going to crush value. As long as he's on the floor, the revenge game, I feel like they did him really wrong. Love Bledsoe tomorrow. Must start, in my opinion. The one guy I'll quickly just mention on the cheaper end, if you're looking for some value at the position, we got Jose Calderon. Minimum price, $3,000. He started last game for Cleveland, played 28 minutes. He got you 14 points, 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 rebounds, 23 fantasy points. At 3,000, all you need from this guy is 15. If he's gonna start tomorrow, even if he comes off the bench, but he's gonna play, they say he's gonna play a solid amount of minutes like he did last game. He's very inexpensive. You don't need very much from him. I think he will be a really, really solid play on the cheaper end. It all depends on news and what they're talking about. Cleveland, every day they change the starting lineup, Shumpert, etc., etc. So, hey, if you hear something good about Calderon, he's a great play. Let's go to shooting guard. James Harden, anytime he's on the slate, he's going to be the top shooting guard in my opinion. The guy averages 54 fantasy points a game, 11.6 price tag. It's not too bad. You need about 56, 57 from him. It is going to be an up-tempo game. I'm going against the Denver Nuggets. I really do like James Harden tomorrow. I think he has a solid matchup. Then you got Booker. He's going against Milwaukee. This guy, he's, almost, they're talking about he could be an MVP candidate right now. He's playing so well. He's averaging 23 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 35 fantasy points, 7.2 price tag. You need 36. In Milwaukee, they're actually 27th in shooting guards. So this is a great spot for Booker. Then you could even go Middleton on the other side of the ball, going against the Suns, up-tempo game. They don't play much defense. The guy's playing massive minutes, and when his shot's on, he's already showed us, a couple times this season, he has 50-point upside, 50, 50, 60, 52. So, he has massive upside at 7.1. You need 35 for fantasy value. I think he's a really good play at shooting guard as well. Then we got Clay. Any night Clay could go off. Clay's going to really be up for this game. It's going to be super crazy, super high profile game. There's superstars on both sides of the ball. All Warriors are in play. Almost all OKC is in play. I'm just gonna get at that out the way right now. Clay, always a great GPP play. Always, has a chance for 50-point upside. He, scored 23 points in a quarter. Clay, he's in play tomorrow. He is more of a GPP though. Then we got these two guys. I don't, I don't know what to do with them. Same price. Okay, so Gary Harris, he's the starter. He's a guy we know is going to get, 30 minutes. I mean, he gets you, pretty much where his average is, almost 26 fantasy points a game. He's pretty much, very close to lock to get that. At a 5.8 salary, that's pretty much his value. So if you want to go with the safer guy, I mean, you go Gary Harris. I think you could even play him in cash. But if you hear anything about Wilson Chandler being out and Barton starting again, I'm going Barton. If he starts, he has way more upside in my opinion. This guy's already flashed 40 a couple times this season. He got minutes 37, almost 50, 34, almost 40, 31. 38. Every time this guy gets the opportunity, he balls out. So if he starts tomorrow, I think he's almost a lock going against James Harden. Or actually, I'm sorry, he would probably play small forward, so he would be playing against Ariza. But hey, I still like him a lot. He's a baller, so he's definitely in play. So let's go to small forward. Antetokounmpo, up-tempo game against Phoenix. I mean, he hasn't been scoring the 60s too much lately, but he has that upside. He's averaging 56 fantasy points a game. Small forward is a position I feel you're probably going to have to pay up at. There's some really good spots. Antetokounmpo, he's one of the top plays. Then you got LeBron going against the Nets. Last time he went against the Nets, he got us a 65 spot. So, yeah, 12,000. He needs 60 for value. If this game stays close, he's gonna have a good game. Last game he kind of burned us. He only played 27 minutes because it was a blowout. He only got us 30 fantasy points, but that's why it's daily fantasy. You can't look at what they did last time. You have to look at the matchup, and if it's there, you go right back to the well. Then you got Kevin Durant, in the best game of the night. This guy's going to get up for 10,000. He needs 50 for value. If he's going to play and he's going to play 35 minutes, he's going to hit 50. I'm telling you right now, he's going to have a really good game if he plays small. Kevin Durant's a really good play. Antetokounmpo, really good. LeBron has upside if it's not a blowout. For 10,000 for Kevin Durant in this game, if they say he's fully healthy, I think he's almost a lock cash game play in my opinion. I really like him a lot tomorrow. Then you got your boy on the other side of the ball. I'm telling you, this game, Paul George, he's been on fire. He's hit in the past 6 games. He got a 69, 57, a 41, and a 51. He had one dud, but hey, it's daily fantasy. You can't do it every night. Really like this guy for 8,500. I think he's a great play. His price is really good. You need about 43 from him, and 43 if he plays these minutes, 36, 42, 36, 42, 41, 42, he's going to be very close. I like him a lot. So it's just like where you're going to pay up at, but I think small forward is a position that you do got to pay up at somewhere. Even if it's just a Paul George, you got to get somebody that's going to get you those fantasy points and get you that floor for your cash games. And if you want to go a little bit cheaper, the guy I like is Carroll, 5,800. He's just been consistent, averaging 28 fantasy points a game. At his price, you need 28 fantasy points. He's been doing, pretty good. He's just getting you, 33, 28. He had a dud, 24, 33. He's consistent. Last time he played Cleveland, he got a 39 spot. He always gets up when he's playing LeBron. A lot of people get up because they want to challenge the best player and show them that they can play up to their level. So I do like him at small forward, on the little bit cheaper end, but he's not too cheap. Let's go to power forward now. I think this is the spot that you kind of pay down at, to be honest with you. My top power forward, obviously, is going to be Draymond. Draymond's going to be hyped up tomorrow in this game. He's going to be extra hyped up. He has a chance for a triple-double any night, and Draymond, he looks really good tomorrow. He averages 34. He's going to get you, for value, you need About 37. He's going to get you 37 tomorrow. You can mark my words. As long as he doesn't get in foul trouble or get ejected, hey, he's going to get there for you. He's a really good play tomorrow, and he's only 7,500. I feel like that's a little bit too cheap for him as well. So I really like him. I think he could be a really good cash game play for you. And then we got Carmelo on the other side. He's only 6,700. I feel like you can stack this whole game up, throw in a couple value plays, and boom, you're going to be money. As long as this game stays close, all these guys are going to be racking up minutes, and they're going to be racking up fantasy points. So hopefully it's in OKC, and it does stay somewhat close. Carmelo, I mean, he's getting, 33 minutes a game. He's averaging 34 fantasy points a game. At 6,700, I mean, that's just, I honestly feel like that's a little too cheap for him. For value, you need about 33 and a half. I mean, that's pretty much what he's averaging. He's going to get you really close to that. I think he's a really good play tomorrow. And, in that game is going to be really, really good. Okay, now we're going to start going down a little bit. Gibson, I know. He burned us last time. I played him. He only got us 15. But before that, look at his games. For 5.2, you need about 25. You got a 36, 31, 21, 25, 24. None of these are going to burn you. He's just a solid. I mean, he's been getting a lot of minutes. He's getting 32, 33 minutes a game. And I think he's going to get you close to, this is a guy you kind of put in there, say, okay, boom, he's going to get me my 25, and I'm going to move on, and we're going to, pay up at other positions. Next, we'll go to the old man, Zach Randolph, 4.9 against my Lakers. We're not very good against physical big men. I mean, the thing I don't like about him, he's only playing 22 to 24 minutes a game, but, I mean, he's still being very consistent, 26, 23, he had a dud 5, 22, went back to 30. I mean, you only need 25. So I think, and look, a little bit earlier, he got you the 35, the 32, the 26, the 27. So, I mean, he's just consistent. He gets you those, he's going to get you, your 12 points, your 6 rebounds, and almost 2 assists a game. So I think he's a really good play. And then the last guy I'm going to talk about is Crowder. He's only 4,300. I mean, he's going back and forth between being in the starting lineup and coming off the bench. But, I mean, he's getting, pretty consistent minutes. He's getting, about 25 to 27 minutes a game. And he's averaging, 16 fantasy points. This is nothing, oh, my God. But, I mean, 4.3, you need about 20, and I think he's going to get you close to 20, especially against Brooklyn. I think he is a little bit more of a GPP play than a cash game play, but I mean we've seen him in the past have upside for 30 to even 40. I've seen him hit a couple of times before, so it's just all about his minutes and the way that it kind of goes about. But he's a solid GPP play on the cheaper end though. Against Brooklyn, I mean everybody's pretty much in play. Then we'll move on to center. I think the top center is Karl Anthony Towns going against Jokic. I'm going to tell you something. Jokic is a good offensive center, but he sucks on defense, and I love targeting Jokic. I think Karl Anthony Towns is going to have a monster game tomorrow. Excuse me. I think he is more of a GPP play, though, just because his price is 9.5, which is kind of high. You need about 47 from him. I mean, in the past 5 games, he has got you 47, 2 of the past 5. But, I mean, the past 3, he's played, got 37, 30, and 32. So, I mean, he can get it any time. He's averaging 41 fantasy points a game. I think he is a little bit more of a GPP play. Then you got Jokic going against Houston. 9,000, you need 45. I mean, he can absolutely go off in this matchup. He's averaging 40 fantasy points a game. One thing that does worry me a little bit in this spot is that he's going to be going against Capella on the other side of the ball. And Capella is a really good defensive center, and I think he can give Jokic fits. And I think one of them is for sure going to get in foul trouble. It's just a matter of who it is. And Jokic, I mean, he has gotten foul trouble in the past. It's not something like he doesn't avoid. And against a physical center, I mean, it scares me a little bit, but I mean, he's a really good play, and I mean, he has upside any night to get you, your 60, your 50, your 50. So he has a solid play tomorrow going against Houston. It is an up tempo game, so he's going to get some extra rebounds and shots, etc. And we got Kevin Love. I like Kevin Love tomorrow. 8,000. You need 40 from him. He's averaging 35. I mean, he's been doing pretty good lately. His past 5 games, he got you a 53, a dud, 38, 45, 36. I mean, he's been fairly consistent, the past 5 games. The problem with him is that his minutes are so up and down. So up and down. 35, 23, 27, 42, 25. It's like, come on, man. Just give this guy 32 minutes a game. It'll be fine. So the minutes do scare me a little bit, but the production has been there regardless. And, he has been, 42 minutes here, 35, 34. So, I mean, he gets it. It's just sporadic, and that's the frustrating thing. But, hey, Kevin Love looks really good tomorrow against Brooklyn. I really like targeting Brooklyn. I mean, they play no defense at all. They take a lot of long shots, so, Kevin Love will get some extra rebounds. Then we got, yes, sir, Adams in that OKC against against the Warriors game. And this guy, he's been very consistent. He's averaging 30 fantasy points a game. 6.3 price tag. You need about 32. As long as he doesn't get in foul trouble, I mean, he's going to play a lot tomorrow. They're going to really want to win. They're going to play their starters heavily. And this guy, I mean, he can get you those defensive stats that you like. Plus, I mean, he's scoring. I mean, who's going to guard him? Draymond. He's going to try to guard him, but Draymond's too short for him. Steven Adams is a pretty good offensive player. They're going to put Pachulia on him, and I think Pachulia is going to get in foul trouble. 6.3, I think, is a really good price tag for Adams. I think he's a very fair play tomorrow. Then the last guy that I'm going to talk about that I really like, Greg Monroe. Hey, revenge game, 4.6. He's been up and down. In 3 games, he had a monster game, a dud, and a really good matchup, and then he had a solid game right here. The minutes aren't up. That's the only problem. But if they say he's going to start and even play 28 minutes, in a revenge game, the coach may give him a couple extra minutes. I like him. This is going to be a really good game, and I think that he's going to have a really solid game tomorrow. So, hey, that's kind of where I'm at for the day. Sorry, I got a little bit caught up and took a little bit long, but make sure if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Make sure to click the like button. That really helps me out. And hey, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's win some money.